I'm on a quest to find music and art. Supporting local talent is the place I start. Yeah, this is our culture, the place to be. Games, books, arts and crafts and jewelry. This the guardians of the geekery. 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 And now for today's episode of Guardians of the Geekery with your hosts, Matt, Carol, and Joey.
All right, the Guardians of the Geekery promoting the Geekery Market, Saturday, November 4th. Woohoo!
Cabarrus Arena and Event Center, but we are in the Event Center, not the arena. But
arena.
Yeah, but there'll be a big inflatable in front that will give you a good hit.
I don't think you'll be able to miss us.
There'll also be hot tub display over there, but come back to our event. You can go play in the hot tubs if you want, but come back to our event.
Come back, shop, yeah.
But hey, today we have Espereva Inc. Did I say it right?
Espereva.
Okay. And we've got Nicole and JC here. So welcome to both of you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
This will be your first appearance selling at the market, but JC, you've actually been before, right?
Yes.
Or Nicole. Yes, JC, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went last year with my neighbor. It was super fun. And she told me about y'all. She thought, hey, you might like this. You might love what's there and come check it out because it's just such a variety of everything that's either handcrafted or just beautiful art, beautiful jewelry, beautiful books, and even more. I couldn't stop shopping. And I'm actually
That's a good thing to hear.
I'm actually wearing earrings from the market.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. And it was just super fun just to walk around and talk to everybody. And it was busy, but not like claustrophobic busy, but like a good healthy busy, and I really enjoyed that. So because I'm kind of an introvert. My mug even says a book a day keeps the people away. So
Carol needs that mug.
Indeed.
But yeah, it was a wonderful time. I really got excited seeing everything, and like I said, I spent a lot of money.
And just in time for the holidays, so it's the perfect reason to. Like, we literally planned it the weekend after Halloween. So now, after all of your Halloween money is spent, now you can start spending all of your holiday money. It'll work out great. So, so tell us a little bit about your books. And Nicole, why don't we start with you? I see 3 titles behind you, which is awesome. So talk to us a little bit.
Apologize. I'm getting over a cold, so hopefully I don't lose my voice in the middle of this. So JC and I write the Jadeson Journals, which is a series of books that are taking us through one story. However, each book is told in the voice of a different character.
Nice.
So it kind of gives variety, and you also get to meet other characters throughout the series, hearing their perspective. We like to use our little catchphrase of if X-Men go to Narnia to rebuild Hogwarts. That is our series.
I love that.
Only geeks are going to get it, but I don't. What else do you want to say, Jason?
So which book is first in the series?
So Feathers for Us is first. We published that back in 2019. Originally, this was JC's brainchild. And I came on as a creative partner to kind of help her. And I was like, I'll edit, I'll look at it. I do have a background teaching English. So I was like, I'll just come on and check and see. And I was like, chapter 6, I'm like, I love it. It's great. I can't wait to read more. And then I get to chapter 13 and I'm like, I'm still loving it. I love the characters, but I have no idea what's going on. And she told me she was in the middle of a rewrite. And I said, okay. So then it just kind of became this, we would talk about our imaginary best friends together on the phone. And create more of a story. And from there, we just kind of put it together and decided to co-author it, and have been moving and grooving ever since.
And so, JC, what was your inspiration originally for starting the series?
So I love to write about where I used to work. That's kind of where it all roots. So I used to work in a used bookstore and coffee shop. And somehow through working there, I love I always loved portal fantasies. I just like the concept of them, but I wanted it to be a little bit more of like a back and forth, not so much like they go through the portal and that's it, and they were in the other realm forever. I wanted it to be really like, why are they going through this portal? Why do they have to go back? And so just kind of put that with that idea, mashed it together. And like she said, it was like at some point not making sense. It was a little chaotic probably with my plot.
Get a lot of plots, a lot of things happening.
A lot of plots going all over the place. So a lot of it just, it really, you know, we came together on all of it. And I think it just started just from that working in that bookstore idea.
Oh, that's cool. So your bookstore became kind of like a Warehouse 13 where you stumble upon journals and they take you through the portal. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and how many books are in the series currently? Is it
Well,
3?
so that's a funny story. There's 3 currently. When she was saying when she had many plots and things were going all over the place is when I said, well, this is definitely a series. You're not going to fit all these ideas in one book. And I challenged her and said, let's do a voice of a different character. So I signed on to do 6 total for the series. That was my initial plan. I said, we can do 6. She added more to 8 or 9 is what I think we're up to at the moment. We did an event over the summer and someone said 13. So people are already adding more to the series for us. So I probably have more coming. We are currently working on book 4 though.
And so it's Feathers Force, and I'm having a little bit
A Maven's Key. Yeah, it's a little
Okay.
dark. A Maven's Key and then Winter's Wave. So I've got all the spines right there. I don't know if you can see them all.
Oh yeah.
So we do different artwork for each one, and use part of it for the spine.
That's awesome. And so you've
Do you
got
find it easy to write? Oh, am I still? Do you find it easy to write together? Is it do you find it easier to write together or separately, or how does the partnership? Do you like, here's my chapter and then somebody else writes a different chapter, or how does that work?
Pretty much
it's different.
That's
It's different each book, I think. So
You
I
kind of
can
live
just
them now.
yeah, I think so. The first book was really just like this, like just a whole bunch of chaos happening. It was really short, then it was really long, and so that just was a whole different process. But when we wrote the second book, was really the first one we did together, and it ended up being a little bit of where, you know, we would have this like skeleton draft and then we just layer on it. So it's almost like we just pass it back and forth. And then it would be like, here's the first act. And then we'd get that really in a good place. Then we work on the second and the third. But then I think the strengths we each bring to it is really what puts us in a good spot to write together. So most of mine is which is probably where it gets a little chaotic, is I love atmosphere, I love setting, I love description. I'm the one who will have like 5 adjectives, you know, when I don't need them. But I think, you know, Nicole has a background in acting. She has a theater degree. And so she brings a lot of that character aspect into it, of like how they're moving and how they're, you know, I don't know. And she has to actually literally record videos and send them to me. Like, what is this character doing? Because you're describing it like this, but it's doing that. It needs to be that. So yeah, she can explain how that has happened. But we've kind of learned each other in the process too.
I think for the third book, it really came together. Our process is we decided to save everything in different chapters. So for the first book, we were like, tag you're it, go into the book and work on it. But for the second and third, especially the third, we just divided everything by chapter. And we're like, hey, I'm going to work on chapter 9. I'm in chapter 11. And then we would leave comments back to each other, going back and forth. But it was a real tag team. For the fourth book's process, a little different because there's many different characters. But yeah, so that's basically the same thing. To clarify about the videos, Jen, like she said, we all have our strengths. Her strength is not body language and what things are doing. So she would write things and I'm like, I don't understand how this person is moving. Like, I don't understand how they got from point A to point B. So I would record a video and I was like, this is what you said. Is this what they're doing? And
I'm like,
it's
no.
like, no, that's not it. So she'd send a video back, and I'm like, okay, that's not what you said. So because we don't live in the same area, we have to find ways to make sure. And it's kind of fun when you're working with the co-author, because then sometimes you as an author see something in your head and then you just assume everyone's going to read it that way, but they don't. So when you have two people looking at it, it's like, well, I read it this way, you read it that way. Then we have to figure out how to change it so that we're both reading it the same way and making sure that the audience is reading it the same way. So that part kind of comes in handy, having a second person to kind of help you out with that.
Yeah, I remember when I was in school, there was, I took my first tech writing class, and our very first assignment was describing how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And like literally, the teacher brought in a loaf of bread, peanut butter, jelly, and would take what we had written and act it out. And it would be like, put the peanut butter on the knife, but no description how to do that. And then drop the peanut butter on the bread. And so she would literally do that. And yeah, you realize I am assuming people know things that are not in evidence whatsoever. So I think that always makes it very interesting. So I think a lot of times when you've got that creative writing bent, you don't think sometimes about that. And I know personally, I agonized over how to explain how somebody was sliding around the side of a door to not be seen. Oh, I think we lost Nicole.
It looked like she froze for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we just
She'll
want to
come
hang
back.
tight for a second, Matt?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to pause recording real quick.
There we go.
All right. So Nicole left us for a minute, and she didn't like my explanation of the peanut butter and jelly story. She hopped a train, but we convinced her to come back. So it's all good. So welcome back, Nicole.
Thank you.
She's like, so tell us a little bit about how people can go and find your books, and if you're able to take pre-orders so that people can buy them and then pick them up at the market.
Yeah, so they can find us easily on Amazon. So they can search either A Feather's Force or my name or Nicole's name. It'll pop up. We each have our own websites. You can find us on Facebook as well. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can find us on the internet.
And then it's Espereva Inc., right? Is that correct?
Yeah, so yeah, it might be a little you have to spell it out probably, but it's Espereva.inc, and it's INK. So
okay.
Yeah.
And we'll have that link in the episode. So, and definitely if you go to geekerymarket.com,
definitely
you
look at
can
the
click
show
on there.
notes. Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's a long word.
I'm
It's
going
a lot of E's and S's.
Yeah,
I'm going to
Carol
ask my
has
standard question, which is, do you have any tips to give any new writers? If you could just tell them 3 different tips on how to get started in writing or how to improve their writing.
So I think my tip is that reading makes you a better writer. So the more you read, the better you write. I love to read. I'm in a book club with my neighborhood. I also just read things that I have an interest in. But you also have to write like every day so that's kind of my tip, I think.
Nicole, how about you?
For me, my tip, and JC can tell you this, when she was talking about the character development and my background as an actor, I always ask the question, why? Why is your character doing something? Like, what is the reason? You can have your character agree to something and say yes, but there's like a million reasons or a million ways they can say yes. Like, are they shouting it? Are they yelling it? Are they mumbling it? Are they, why are they saying yes that way? So especially with fantasy, for us, we kind of put the logic in the magic, is what I told her, is like, why are they doing this? How can they do this? So kind of thinking of the big picture, and kind of having an idea before you get started. If you just start writing and have no idea, it's going to leave you a lot of work on the back end to go back and fix. But if you think about it and prep it before you get started, then you can just dive right in.
Very good.
Awesome.
I wanted to circle back. You had asked about pre-orders. We can set that up. So if folks want to come to our website, the Espereva.inc, we will have it set up for you to pre-order the first book for sure. And if you want to get all three, we have a deal.
Yeah, and that way, you know, they can save on the shipping costs. They can go ahead and pay for it online and then just come and pick it up from you. And that way they don't have to worry that maybe you're going to sell out on book 2 and they'll only have 1 and 3 and they'll be like sitting around waiting for 2 and missing a 1. So always an important thing. And then you'll also have you have some merch that goes with your books as well that people can buy, right? So,
yeah, we do. We have, oh gosh, I was trying to think of some of the stuff we have. We have some t-shirts and things that we have made.
Oh,
And we're rebooting that store right now, so that will be available soon. And do we still have some of the feather pens, JC?
Yeah, we have some feather pens, and then we have everyone gets a bookmark whether you buy a book or not. So we do have bookmarks that are pretty cool.
We also
I think what else we have. We have other stuff too. What's that?
We have hair extensions.
You can be like the character if you want to have color in your hair. So we do have those. They're all different colors, like how the cover of the book has all these different colors. We have those in hair too.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. Well, definitely thank you so much for coming and being a part of our podcast today. And we look forward to checking that out and having you at the market. And so make sure to check them out online. And again, we'll tag the website on our podcast page. So make sure to check them out and come see them. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
That was an episode of Guardians of the Geekery. Thank you for listening. Check us out at guardiansofthegeekery.com and stay tuned for more content.